Number 1. Various afterlife worlds. In the world of Naruto, there are several places where the souls of the dead can go after leaving the world of the living. For example, Hagoromo said that most souls end up in a place known as the Pure World. However, there are other locations, such as in Nagato's case, because his soul at this moment is not at rest. As you should know, in the Fourth Great Ninja War, Itachi sealed Nagato, and people who are sealed go to a parallel world where they wander eternally without finding rest. The saddest part is that Nagato, before being sealed, said he was going to Jiraiya's side to accompany his stories once again. Another example of where souls go after being sealed is when the Shinigami is summoned to seal something or someone. In this way, Minato, when sealing Kurama, went to this post-sealing world. And Sarutobi, the third Hokage, also before trying to seal Orochimaru along with him, said that the two would go to a world where they would face each other forever. And one more example of a place where souls go is Kakashi's father. When Kakashi's father meets his son, he said that his soul had been in purgatory. Through Kakashi's forgiveness, he was able to rest in peace and depart for the pure world. Number 2. Madara's most powerful technique. Madara's most powerful technique is Limbo, because besides being clones that cannot be easily seen and sensed, only by extremely skilled ninjas, these clones are also intangible when receiving attacks. They only become tangible when they are attacking the opponent. In other words, they cannot be hit by ninjutsu or taijutsu, and each of the Limbo clones acts independently, moving to attack and protect the user of this technique, being able to use maximum combat capabilities similar to the original user. Madara's Limbo was capable of repelling the nine-tailed beasts and still fighting against the strongest adversaries in the anime. Unlike any other clone technique, the power is not divided. Each of the clones in Limbo can use 100% of Madara's power. Number 3. Naruto has a Kurama mode he never used. In the data books, Kishimoto provides several important pieces of data, and we're going to talk about several of them here in this video. Among them, he stated that just like the other Jinchuriki, Naruto can also become part of his body as a fox and even become a complete flesh and blood Kurama. However, he said that instead of using this form, Naruto chooses Kurama's chakra form because he can access more abilities in this mode. Number 4. Sasori caused the Third Great Ninja War. In his time, Sasori secretly attacked and killed the third Kazekage, the one who came before Gaara's father. This caused the village ninjas to become shaken and begin searching for their missing leader. This was because for them, the third Kazekage was someone invincible, and it never crossed anyone's mind in the village that there could be someone strong enough to defeat him without leaving traces. So not knowing where their leader was, they concentrated all their forces on searching for him and left the village's defenses neglected. When the other villages realized that chaos had been installed, they took advantage and attacked them. And thus began the Third Great Ninja War. And for this reason, Sasori was the one who caused it. Number 5. Itachi didn't give Amaterasu to Sasuke. Many fans of the series believe that Itachi was the one who gave Amaterasu to Sasuke. We can see in databook number 3 that the Amaterasu that Sasuke gained was only for single use. In other words, one hit and it's over. And being so, if Sasuke can use Amaterasu, this means that he awakened it himself. Also, Black Zetsu comments that black flames usually protect Indra's reincarnations, and therefore this means that Madara's eyes can also use Amaterasu, since Madara is one of Indra's reincarnations, just like Sasuke. Number 6. If they used Edo Tensei to resurrect Minato. Again, he would return without arms. He would return without arms because in the Fourth Great Ninja War, he permanently lost his arms when Obito and Madara attacked, using the combination of the 5 elements together with yin and yang. And at the end of the Great War, even the reflection symbolizing Minato's soul was without arms. Being so, regardless of where he finds himself, he is without his arms. Number 7. The Uchiha clan hated Anbu. Tobirama created Konoha's police to maintain order in the village, and also to place the Uchiha clan in a strategic position where they could be cornered in case of betrayal. And for this, he also formed Anbu, a group known as the Elite, in charge of preserving order and peace. However, Anbu was an organization much more important than Konoha's simple police. And in this video, we're going to talk only about official information. That is, in Itachi's official novels, it's clear that the Uchiha hated Anbu because in some cases of investigations or delicate matters, they were hidden and taken over by Anbu and silenced forever. Thus, the Uchiha police were left in a useless position, with the position they held being solely to be constantly watched. And the Anbu position was much higher than theirs. In a way, they had to obey their authority. When Itachi joined Anbu, some Uchiha became furious because they couldn't accept this fact. Really, they were right not to accept it. Number 8. Boruto would have been called Menma. In an interview, Kishimoto stated that Boruto would initially be called Menma. The original idea was abandoned, and in the end, they chose Boruto because of the similarity the name has to Naruto's original and because of its meaning. Boruto means bolt, screw, and we have a logo in the Boruto anime with a screw nut. Besides, the plot talks about scientific ninja tools, and it shows a great evolutionary leap in technology. Beyond all this, Boruto also has to do with Neji, since his name also means screw, and thus his name is a tribute to him. And taking a quick pause here, I'd like to mention that I have a secondary channel where I make anime summaries, and we already have a complete summary with Naruto's entire story. I post anime content there. It's called Kokoro Stars, and the link is in the description. Continuing, let's go to number 9. Tsunade could have defeated the Pains. Many wonder why Tsunade stayed on the defensive during the battle against the Pains. Kishimoto revealed to us that he didn't want her to face the Pains because he wanted them to arrive in good condition to be able to face Naruto. And thus, it's also revealed that the ending of Naruto and Pain's fight would have been different, because originally, Kishimoto wanted Naruto to get revenge for Jiraiya's death and put an end to Nagato. However, after several meetings with the production team and reviewers, they decided to change this part of the story so that Naruto would make peace with Nagato, and thus developed the ending we know. When I read this news, I kept thinking, did Kishimoto really intend to leave everyone who died in Konoha that way, staying that way without bringing anyone back? Well, we'll never know that. Number 9.5. The author of the work said in an interview that only the most fanatic fans subscribe to the Otaku Way channel. Number 10. Not all members of the Uchiha clan can awaken the Sharingan. And this doesn't mean they've never gone through a traumatic or desperate situation that would awaken it, but because the Sharingan is rare even within the Uchiha clan. See, this information is available in the 3rd databook that the series author published. In it, Kishimoto explains that only a part of the people in this clan is born with what's necessary to awaken the Sharingan, and this isn't linked to hereditary factors. In other words, if your father had the Sharingan, it doesn't exactly mean you will too. Being so, within the clan, there are people who can be strong, skilled ninjas who never awakened the Sharingan eyes. Number 11. The 5th Mizukage also participated in the bloody graduation ritual. When Yagura was controlled by Obito, some rules in the village also changed to harm the village hidden in the mist. For example, the graduation ritual became a massacre and something extremely violent. The rules were created as revenge because this village was connected to Rin's death. This way, with the new rules, ninjas who wanted to become genin had to fight among themselves to the death. And the most famous character to participate in this exam is Zabuza, who in the very first episodes of classic Naruto, we see that he killed all his companions to graduate. And in the 4th databook, Kishimoto states that Mei Terumi also participated in this exam. When Obito was totally dominated by Madara with all his plans, she was still graduating from the Ninja Academy. Number 12. Sasuke is Kishimoto's favorite character. Kishimoto was planning to make a movie where Sasuke would be the only protagonist. In an interview, they asked him if there was any reason to make Sasuke Boruto's master at some point, and he responded that he wanted to give more space to the character. He commented that he always wanted to make a movie solely about Sasuke, and that this was his favorite character in the entire work. However, he never had an opportunity to develop this movie. And continuing, he explained that he always likes to use Dragon Ball references in Boruto. Just as Gohan was trained by Piccolo, he would like a former enemy of the protagonist to become Boruto's master, and this would be a perfect opportunity to include this reference. Number 13. Danzo realized that Itachi would accept the mission against his own clan, with just one question. In Itachi's official novels, Danzo corners Itachi at the graduation ceremony and asks him the following. If you are the leader of a crew that is shipwrecking and a single companion of yours is infected by an extremely contagious disease, what would you do, Itachi? Would you eliminate your friend so he doesn't contaminate the others? You don't need to answer me now, Itachi. You are a talented ninja, and soon we will see each other again, and you can answer me this question. And just this way, Danzo believed he could feed this feeling in Itachi to eventually eliminate the entire Uchiha clan once and for all. Number 14. Kakashi's father was stronger than the 3 legendary Sannin. Kishimoto confirmed in Databook number 4 that Sakumo Hatake was stronger and more skilled than the 3 legendary Sannin of Konoha. Number 15. Orochimaru learned forbidden jutsu because of his parents. In chapter 416 of the Naruto manga, Jiraiya tells Naruto that Orochimaru might have turned bad because he lost his parents when he was a child. Jiraiya said the following: Orochimaru went crazy when he lost his parents on a mission. From that moment on, he became different and started studying forbidden jutsu. And he did this to try to revive his parents and to get revenge on Konoha, since Orochimaru blamed the village leadership for his parents' deaths. Number 16. Obito only didn't go blind, thanks to Hashirama's cells. As we already know, people who abuse the power of Mangekyu or the Sharingan end up losing the light in their eyes, and they wear out to the point of leaving the user blind. The only way to use it for a long period of time is by exchanging your eye for another person's eye, thus acquiring the eternal Mangekyu Sharingan. In the 4th Great Ninja War, Kakashi confessed that he was becoming practically blind because he had used his Mangekyu Sharingan several times. So how was it possible that Obito, even using this eye since always and abusing techniques like Kamui, never lost his vision? This is because Hashirama's cells controlled the side effects and damage caused to the Uchiha's eyes, creating perfect regeneration. Number 17. The Ninja Alliance forced and obligated smaller villages to participate in the war. In Kakashi's official novel, it's shown that several small villages didn't want to participate in the 4th Great Ninja War because, according to them, this was a problem of the 5 main countries. However, because they were very small villages, all their medics were obligated to leave their villages and forced to participate in the war, leaving their own homes without any protection. And in this novel, it's revealed that several locations suffered from lack of medics during the war, and because of this, many people died. And this was considered collateral damage of the war because it was more important to save the entire ninja world than simply small villages. Number 18. Naruto no longer uses the technique to sense people's negative energies. He considers it unethical to use this ability to sense people's negative emotions. In Boruto's 2nd official novel, we can see that if Naruto wanted to, he could use his ability to identify any and all types of bad or negative feelings against the village in all the people of Konoha at once, being able to identify if someone was plotting something against the village or not. But he doesn't use this ability because he doesn't want the residents to see him as a dictator or someone who is watching them all the time. Number 19. The Uzumaki clan was eliminated out of fear. In chapter 500 of the Naruto manga, Kushina says that the Uzumaki clan was eliminated because its members were very violent, and several nations feared their power and how they could become increasingly powerful if the number of Uzumaki increased too much. Thus, the ninjas united to end them. Number 20. Deidara hated Orochimaru. Because of Orochimaru, Deidara was recruited to the Akatsuki when Orochimaru abandoned the Akatsuki. They sought a new member to fill Orochimaru's place, and the lucky one was Deidara. Thus, Deidara said that because of Orochimaru, he ended up being recruited. Number 21. Repeated abilities in the Sharingan. The special abilities of each Mangekyu. Sharingan are not unique to each user and can be repeated among different people in the clan. In other words, Sarada's Mangekyu Sharingan doesn't necessarily need to have a new technique. It could be that she has some technique we've already seen before. Number 22. Kakashi and Tsunade pursued and eliminated Root Ambu members. Some of Danzo's former followers were pursued because they were selling Konoha's information to other villages. Number 23. The tailed beasts never had peace. Hashirama's idea was to divide the tailed beasts among villages to achieve peace, and it was a complete failure, since there were always wars and conflicts between them, and the tailed beasts had to live trapped inside instruments or people to be used only as combats or as objects. Hashirama initially thought that equality of military power would simply bring peace, but this never happened. Kishimoto said in the 4th databook that Hashirama proposed in one of those 5 Kage meetings to implement a village system where borders would be completely eliminated and differences too. Everything would be pure equality. And for this, they distributed the tailed beasts to establish the balance of village power. In Hashirama's pure and naive way, this would work well, but none of this ever really worked. Number 24. Tobirama created the Chunin exams to spy on other villages. Tobirama created the Chunin exams to receive people from other villages for various reasons. But initially, he created them to establish a classification system, and so that the village clans would coexist with each other. But before this, the exams were only internal in Konoha, and only village Ginin participated. With the creation of this new model, he began to know and measure each village's future potential, and use this data for Konoha's own protection. Tobirama was concerned with knowing the power of allies in case of betrayal from any side. Number 25. Rock Lee is not from Konoha. Rock Lee was not born in the Leaf Village. He was born in a neighboring settlement in the Land of Fire. There are several villages and towns near Konoha, and some ninja students came from these places. Rock Lee was from one of these villages close to Konoha, and Rock Lee's village is dominated by his clan, which is not very strong and specializes in taijutsu. This clan doesn't live in Konoha, but rather in a small neighboring village. Number 26. Hashirama chose the second Hokage. In his final moments, Hashirama asked his younger brother Tobirama to take the position of Hokage of Konoha. The way Hashirama died is still a complete mystery, because the information available in the village is that he died of a disease. He died young, and we already see that in practice, no disease stands against Hashirama's regeneration and his healing powers. Even so, there is a great possibility that a battle took place and that he died after combat, since he passed away some years after founding Konoha. Hashirama didn't even get to grow old. Number 27. Naruto would have a dragon. The initial idea at the beginning of Naruto's story was that he would be able to summon a dragon, since in his first mission, he would learn to summon this gigantic dragon. Since Zabuza, his first enemy, would have a sword of 200 meters. Don't ask me why Kishimoto changed all this information. Probably his reviewers and editors didn't allow it, or maybe because these things were extremely difficult to draw and animate. Number 28. Itachi would be Hokage. Deep down, Itachi's dream was to be Hokage of Konoha. In Itachi's official novels, this is revealed to us, and this was his deepest desire. But it wasn't to be recognized, but rather to be in a position that would allow him to make decisions big enough to save his entire clan. Number 29. The Uchiha Sacred Fan. Madara's fan is a sacred object that is passed from generation to generation and is also the Uchiha symbol itself. It always remained in the possession of the Uchiha clan leaders. Kishimoto said that this fan was made from the wood of the sacred tree of the chakra fruit, still in Kaguya's time. And this object, just like the tree, has the ability to absorb enemies' chakra and can also transform enemy jutsu and launch them back against them. Using the power of this fan, Madara defeated several enemies in the era of clan wars. He could fight without using any of his own chakra, only using the fan's power. And possession of this fan should now be in Uchiha Sasuke's hands, and consequently, it should be passed to Uchiha Sarada. Number 30. Sakura wouldn't be developed. Kishimoto confessed that at the beginning of the series, he really would leave her aside and wouldn't develop her abilities. However, he began to realize that many people became discontented with her lack of ability, and that she had already gained a large legion of fans who were anxious for the moment she would develop. All this happened right at the beginning of the work, and it was enough for Kishimoto to develop all the abilities of the stubborn ninja. It's incredible the amount of new Naruto information that's coming out there with the current events of the Boruto manga. To not miss any of these news, subscribe to this channel. I'm Joel, I'll be staying here. Share this video, and until next time.